What's going on, everybody? Joseph here. Hey, we are talking about on one of my Facebook posts here. I put drop what you think is the most fattening food in the comments. Let's see if your education serves you right. So I kind of put that little education serves you right to hopefully get some better answers. I didn't actually. One of my clients, Leanne, shout out to Leanne Rutland, is the only person with the right answer. There's a couple other people who have similar answers, but I think they cheated and just went off of Leanne. And so, what I want you to know is that the most fattening foods are the ones that we overconsume. So they're going to be the ones that, we're consuming hundreds of thousands of calories every day or every week, based off of that food. It could also be a food group or a food type. So we could blame carbs, we could blame fats, we could blame alcohol if we're over consuming those each and every day. And so what I want you to know is I'm going to read through some of these answers. We're going to talk about why or why not. But just know that they all could technically be right answers if we are over consuming them. Okay. And none of them matter if we don't consume them at all. So there's a couple coaches in here who had some pretty smart answers, but it doesn't really matter if we don't consume them. So what is the most fattening food for you is the food that you are going to over consume each and every day, each and every week. So first one up is almonds. Almonds are very calorically dense. 1 ounce is about 14 grams of fats. So 14 times 9, whatever that math is. For an ounce of almonds, that's pretty calorically dense. Doesn't mean anything to me if I don't like almonds, if I don't eat almonds. So that's not very fattening to me. Someone put alcohol. I don't drink that much alcohol. So alcohol is 7 calories per gram. Um, the stronger the alcohol is, the more calories it's going to have. If we are adding things like sugar to it, like a margarita, definitely more fattening because there's more calories. But if you don't drink alcohol, not really a big deal to you. Um, Someone said the breadsticks and rolls from Olive Garden and Texas Roadhouse. Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? The last time I've been to Olive Garden or Texas Roadhouse is probably 4 or 5 years ago. So not very fattening for me per gram. So this was a coach. Per gram, probably macadamia nuts are up there. Absolutely correct. Macadamia nuts per gram are very calorically dense. I've never even had a macadamia nut, to be 100% honest, so that doesn't matter to me. Crisco, never used it. Fried butter, never had it. Cheesecake, love it. So cheesecake, very calorically dense, depending on the size of the cake you have. If you have a little sliver or a bite or two, not very fattening. If you have half a cheesecake to yourself, pretty fattening. Okay. Peanut butter. Per serving, 2 tablespoons. Again, about 14 grams of fats, couple grams of sugar, couple grams of protein. Pretty calorically dense. But again, if you don't eat peanut butter, it's not fattening to you at all. Tiffany put all of them. Sorry, maybe I shouldn't call you out by name. All of them. Yeah. All the foods that you consume are fattening. And so you have to understand that everything is adding calories to you. All foods contain calories. And so if we are going to eat food, we are giving ourselves calories. We are technically giving ourselves a way to store fat. Um, Courtney put the ones you overconsume. Great answer. Fried chicken. So it's funny because we take protein, which is pretty healthy, not very calorically dense at all, very nutrient dense, unless it's like barbecue or bacon or things like that. Those proteins are pretty calorically dense, but lean proteins like chicken, not very calorically dense. But then we fry it, we add this little yummy, yummy goodness on the outside, gets pretty calorically dense. But if you don't eat fried chicken, not a thing for you. Processed sugar. This is funny because processed sugar is not very calorically dense. It's only 4 calories per gram. Remember that alcohol is 7 calories per gram and fats is 9 calories per gram. So processed sugars is not very calorically dense. Now, the way that we consume processed sugars and overconsume processed sugars through processed foods and sodas and drinks and things like that can absolutely get pretty calorically dense up there if we overconsume it. But if we're having one soda a day or we're sticking to the serving size of whatever foods that we're consuming, it's probably not that bad. And so I challenge everyone to think about what you eat and think about what you overeat. And if you don't know what you overeat, go look at the serving sizes of those things. So if let's say it's chips, go look at the serving size of chips, weigh it out, measure it out, whatever the case may be, and then look and see if do you eat that much or do you eat way more? Let's look at the serving size of cheesecake. What's the size of a cheesecake supposed to be? When we cut ourselves a slice of cheesecake, how much do we eat? Do we eat multiple pieces in one day? Do we eat a whole cheesecake in a week if it's in the fridge, right? I don't want it to go bad. Let's look at like maybe even some of our healthy snacks like almonds, peanut butter, macadamia nuts. Are those in the house? Are we consuming them? If so, how much are we consuming in a sitting and how much are we consuming week after week? If it's alcohol, how much alcohol are we drinking? What is the serving size of the alcohol that you're drinking? Is it a shot? Is it a glass of wine? If it's a glass of wine, I challenge you to research how much a serving of wine is and then compare it to how much you pour yourself in your own glass, and see, are we over consuming that? So any and all of these could be the right answer. If you don't consume any of these, it doesn't make any difference to you because you don't consume it. So there's no point for you to even worry about it. It's not one thing, it's all of them. So it's not processed sugar, it's not fried chicken, it's not macadamia nuts, it's not cheesecake, it's all of them. If we are consuming them, we have to pay attention to portion control. And guys, that's what we do at Facts Over Fads Nutrition. We control your portions. We don't control your foods. We don't tell you you can't have this or you can't have that. We give you lots of options, lots of variety, and a plethora of ways for you to stick to your portion, stick to your calories, stick to your macros to still see progress. And that's what our coaches do the best at. We are very inclusive of all foods. We are very educational and informative on serving sizes and sacrifices or trade-offs that we're going to have to make. So if you do want fried chicken, what are we going to have to sacrifice in order to fit that fried chicken in? And is the fried chicken worth those sacrifices, right? So lots of education with facts over fads. And so I hope this was educational. I'm going to let this post continue to go and get more and more comments. So we'll see where we end up. But go check out that post. I'll put a tag in the comments. And again, if you have any questions about calories or fattening foods or how can we fit in wine and still see progress, definitely reach out to the Facts Over Fads team and let us know how we can help. All right.